Hello art friends, Melisa here. I'm really excited to share today's project with you because I used some new supplies that I had received from the Maremi Small Art Store. It's always fun to use new supplies. I'll be using some rice paper. The set I received has beautiful floral images in it. It reminds me of the mulberry paper I used to use when I first started scrapbooking. I also purchased a tracing paper set. This reminds me of vellum. This set has gorgeous images. And like vellum, tracing paper is partially translucent and has a slick surface, so I'm curious as to how it will work with other mediums. I have a few ideas for using this in some of my upcoming tutorials. I've already tested my alcohol markers, colored pencils, and acrylic pens on it. I'll also be using some of Marta's journaling sticker strips and one of her stencils called Scales. Today's project is inspired by Marta's 7th video in her Me Art Time series. I'll post a link below in the description to her Me Art Time playlist. I'm working in my 5.5 by 5.5 Arteza art journal. So next up is the tutorial part of the video. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments section. So my idea was to, instead of trying to cut this out and put it on a heart, was to actually lay out the heart design around the flower and then cut here, and then when I get to the edge here, just cut this part, do the detailed cutting for that. All right, so I'm gonna go off camera, do that detailed cutting. I'm gonna do it for this one up here as well. Okay, and I'll be back. All right, so let me show you what I've already done. I used my stencil, traced the heart with a pencil, and I cut with scissors around the heart part, but when I got the flower, I thought, oh, this might look nicer if it didn't have such harsh edges. So I used some water. I wet the rice paper, and then I used my fingers, and I just kind of tore it away like this so that I had a frayed edge. All right. So let me do the next one on camera. I've already traced with a pencil. The Liquitex matte medium works great to adhere the tissue paper, but it doesn't work with the tracing paper. I tried it earlier before starting this project. So I used Aleene's tacky glue. Since I only put it on random areas of the tracing paper, I used the brayer to help spread the glue out a little. I realized there was going to be parts of the tracing paper that were not glued to the page. I didn't try the Ultra Matte Gel though. It's thicker than the matte medium, and maybe it would have worked. It would have been easier to spread than the tacky glue. But it's a mixed media project, so I don't mind if the edges are bowing a little or if it's not glued completely down to the page. Here I'm adding water with a brush instead of using a sprayer to try and control the flow of the color. But as you'll see in a minute, I didn't add enough water and I ended up using the sprayer anyway. I'm using red and black golden fluid acrylic paint because it's highly pigmented but much thinner than regular acrylic paint. I want the paint to flow down the page and around the edges of the stencil pattern. You don't have to use fluid acrylics. You can try watering down regular acrylic paint, but that may affect the color. Spray inks or watercolor paint might be a better option if you don't have fluid acrylics. Well, that's it for today, art friends. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I'd appreciate you giving it a thumbs up below. If you're inspired to create an art journaling layout of your own, post it on Instagram. I'd love to see it. Just use the hashtag I've listed in the description box. I know it's a long one, but it'll come up way before you type it all in. I've also posted a link in the description box for the Maremi Art Store. See you next time.